Hi there everyone, it's Munya Dumukwa and I'm back with another how to draw video. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to ink an illustration. In fact, my method of inking an illustration. So I've got this illustration here of this ninja striking an action pose. So I'm going to be inking this illustration using three different types of pens. I've got this pen here. This is a 0.7 millimeter tip, and this is a 0.3, and this one is 0.5. So I'm going to be switching these pens as I will be inking this illustration. So there's something that I need to tell you before I start inking. You see, this paper is not tabbed. Like normally when I'm doing my videos, my illustration videos, I tap my paper on this table right here, but I didn't tap it so that when I'm inking, I need to have my hand to freely flow around this picture so that I don't mess up the illustration. And also, as I'm going to be inking this illustration, you might find that I've put these lines right here. I think you can see these two lines right here. They're just guiding me so that this illustration doesn't go out of the viewing point of the camera right here. Then also, what I'm going to be showing you here are some of the things that I pay attention to when I'm inking, the decisions I make, and such things you may need to pay attention to as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to finish this whole illustration while giving you all the tips, but after I finish giving you the tips that are necessary, I'm going to speed up the rest of the video and you just watch me doing the inking, listening to some music that will be played during that time lapse. Then we'll end the video right there. So let's get into the details. So firstly, normally when I'm inking an illustration, I first use the thick pen. Say this tip here is really thick. It's 0.7. Normally I use 0.7 or 0.8. So this I use to ink, let me call them the edges of the illustration, or the outer parts of the illustration, and maybe a few of the inner parts of the illustration. So what I'm referring to as the outer parts of the illustration, I'm referring to like here the borders of the illustration, right? Every object, the outer parts of the illustration, the borders, right? The outer lines, those are the lines which I ink using this tip, this 0.7 millimeter tipped pen. Is it the right way to say it? Okay, so I'm sure you can see this. Then there are some lines like where there's a wrinkle like here. I normally repeat so that to add thickness and depth to the illustration. Like here I might need to add a little thickness outside direction. So it's also one thing that I might need to say. I don't have where I say this is where I start inking the head or which part. Some of these things just happen by instinct. So you see, doing a video about showing people how to do things that you normally do just by instinct could be very difficult, but I'm going to try as much as possible to explain the decisions I make when I'm inking an illustration. So I would say the idea behind inking is that you want to have every idea that you had when you were doing the pencils. you need to keep those ideas. You need to retain those ideas, or all those decisions you made when you were doing the pencil process. You need to keep them even during the inking process. That's why you see that a person who inks should also be an artist, especially for those people who are working as teams, especially when doing comics. Let's say you work as a team. There's an inker. That person also needs to be an artist who understands the decisions made by the artist who did the pencils. So here I'm going to be I think here you've seen where I use the 0.7 millimeter tip, or the thickest pen. So I need to show you where I use the 0.3 and the 0.5 as well. But I'll say normally the 0.3 and the 0.5, I just use them. Normally I don't use both of them at once. So I use the 0.3 or the 0.5 is the thin the thin tip. So the idea here is to have different tipped pens, as this will just enhance the work. So here I've taken this is the 0.5. You see the 0.5 is very thick. It's very thin, I'm sorry. So it allows me to put these lines here that I'd put initially using a very thin sharpened pencil. See, it adds the detail. Also, I see the 0.3 right here. I'll use it here to add these thin lines here. So like I said, I don't think I'm going to finish this whole illustration whilst I'm talking, because eventually I'll be running out of what to say, because I would have told you exactly almost all the decisions I make when I'm inking. Also, one thing you see, especially the 0.5 millimeter tip, I use it to apply this diagonal line shading. See that I put initially with the pencil right here. So in short, or in summary, it's like I'm saying, the thick tip works to just to bolden the illustration, right? Then the thin tip does the job of adding depth. See, like this metallic weapon that my character is holding right here. This ninja is holding. Just to add depth to it, I would use, you see, the thin tip. So inking, sometimes, especially inking an illustration that is so complicated like this one, it takes time. That is the reason why I'm going to invite some speed to this video, and I'm sure after that I'll come back with some final words. So for now, I'm going to ink this whole illustration. I'm going to speed up this video and ink the rest of the illustration. Then I'll come back with some final words. Okay, so we come finally we come to the end of this illustration, but I thought some people would need to ask how I do this kind of texture shading right here. It looks like some cross hatching, but it's not really cross hatching. It just simply what I did here was I just put diagonal lines like this, but I tried to make sure that my hand is not that rigid, because these lines, I'm not using a ruler to have them done, so I need to be very careful. Then I just hit it diagonally on the opposite diagonal, so it looks like some cross hatching, but it's not exactly cross hatching, because as far as I know, when you are cross hatching, you're not really twisting the line, like you're creating axes like what I'm doing right here. But yeah, I'm just creating a look of a wired fence, but it just creates some texture right here. So let me know if this video was helpful in the comment section. Also, you can also let me know and using the email that I provide at the end of this video. But let me say in summary, the trick behind inking, especially when you like my method that I use different tipped pens, is that I need to have bold lines, the mixing bold lines and bold thick lines, and these thin lines. It just creates it adds depth to the illustration. The content is well placed when you use different different tipped pens. So don't forget to check out our Facebook, Blackside Comics Facebook page, where we update a comic that is titled The Other Realm. Also, be sure to check out for there's a comic that is coming from Black Site Comics. It's that I wrote, which is titled titled Blackbirds. Be sure to check it out. It will be out by August. Same with the other room. The full book will be out in August as well. So be sure to stay updated. Subscribe to this channel, and also be sure to like our Facebook page, follow it, follow the updates, and I'm sure you won't be let down that way. So with that said, thanks for watching, everybody.